Hello everyone, Luke here, back with another NFL predictions video. Welcome to week 2. Last week in week 1, I went with a record of 9-7, not a good week. Um, I had a lot of underdogs last week, so I can see why I lost 7 games in week 1. Um, but yeah, the Browns should have almost won, and the Chargers got an upset win. The Raiders got an upset win. The Dolphins got cooked by Indianapolis, and Giants and Panthers looked bad, and then the Lions looked bad that week, and then that was basically all the losses that I had. But yeah, now we're gonna get into week 2. Um, yeah, we're gonna start off with the Washington Commanders and the Green Bay Packers. In this one, I think it's gonna be a close game, as both of these teams are expected to compete for a playoff spot down the line, potentially a championship contender matchup between these two teams. It's going to be a really fun game between Washington and Green Bay. But I think Green Bay will come up victorious in this one in a very fun, entertaining game. And to start off week 2, I think Green Bay will get the job done in Lambeau, have the home field advantage, and make plays to limit Jaden Daniels. I think it's going to be a really fun game, but I do have Green Bay winning this one by the final score of 27-23. The first Sunday afternoon window game is the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to start off with an upset. This is one of my upsets. The Bengals did not look good in week 1. I'm going to keep it at a buck. The Bengals did not look good, but they somehow won the game because the Browns gave them the win. And if Cincinnati doesn't get their game together on offense, then I think this Bengals team is going to have trouble again. And this is why they cannot have slow starts. It's great that they started 1-0, but they cannot have another slow start. That's what kills them. And then Jacksonville, I like where they're heading. But I think this is going to be a close game between these two football teams. But I think Jacksonville just gets it done to upset Cincinnati to go to 2-0, while Cincinnati drops to 1-1. I have this being 27-20 Jacksonville. Next up we have is the Giants and the Cowboys, shockingly at 10 o'clock. This would probably normally be America's Game of the Week or on prime time. But I'm glad it's at 10 o'clock because we know how these games usually end up. They are terrible. It's just a rivalry. That's all. But none of these teams are good. But I have Dallas getting the belt on the Giants. I don't like the Giants roster right now, how they played in week 1. Their offense does not look good under Russell Wilson. I think they need to start Jackson Dart or Winston at this point. I don't know how much leash is left for Russell Wilson, but this is based off football terms. I don't think he's that guy anymore. But I don't think when they had Daniel Jones last year, all of a sudden he played really well last week, but he wasn't good with the Giants. I'm just thinking now, are the Giants a really bad team that can have success with quarterbacks? Or is their O-line garbage, or what is it? But we have to find out with Jackson Dart. I don't know when he'll get the start, but it's probably really soon. But I'm going to speak about Daniel Jones when we get to the Colts game, which will be in a little bit. But in this one, I think it's going to be the Cowboys will get the belt on this one. It's going to be 31-10. I think it's going to be a blowout. Dallas wakes up, and I think they'll bounce back with a win. And the Giants will drop to 0-2. Next we have is the Bears and Lions. The Bears looked decent in the first half, and then they utterly collapsed. Detroit looked terrible in week 1. Does that mean either of those teams are going to be terrible all year? Could be. I don't think the Lions will be. I knew the Lions were probably going to have growing pains with new coordinators. I think they will bounce back with a win in week 2. I don't know who to pick on this one because both of these teams don't really look that great right now. But we're going to find out later down the line, I think. I think Detroit will get the job done and bounce back. They'll win 24-20 at home field. I think the offense is going to have a slow start, but they'll wake up um, and then they'll get their groove later in the year, I think. But right now, they need to focus on beating Chicago, and I think they will do that. The Lions bounce back to go to 1-1. Bears drop to 0-2. I have them winning 24-20. The next game we have is the Rams and the Titans. This game's going to be really boring. I don't really care about this game. I think the Titans are going to get destroyed. We saw what the Rams did to the Texans offense, and they limited them. And the Rams defense can limit Cam Ward again, like how the Broncos limited him really bad. So I think this one's a really boring game. I think the Rams do their job on offense and dominate on defense. I have this one being 23-7, and it's just going to be a boring game to watch. I think the Rams will do their job on offense. Their defense is going to get a lot of pressure on Cam Ward, and the offense won't contribute as much. And I think there could be some coaching changes at like the middle of the season for Tennessee, or unless if they go all the way until the end of the season with Brian Callahan. But I don't think he's the guy for Tennessee. But my final score, Rams win 23-7. Next up we have is the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Both of these teams are looking for win number 1. The Patriots fought hard against the Raiders. It was a back-and-forth game. It was really close. But the Patriots fell short in the end as they let it slip away. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, they looked like one of the worst teams in football. They got destroyed by the Colts somehow, when I had the Colts being one of the worst teams this year. Not like the worst team in the league, but like a bottom 5 team. But they made like Daniel Jones look like Peyton Manning somehow, or like an above average quarterback. And with Drake May being the Patriots quarterback, I think he's going to carve up the Dolphins defense. It looks terrible. And Miami didn't look that great either. So it gets me really concerned how much longer Mike McDaniel will last his job. I think he's going to get fired this year based off what we're seeing. And meanwhile, New England, I think they're a learning team. I'm not concerned for them yet. I think they'll get their first win of the season at Miami. I'm confident they will win. They will do their job. They will win 28-16 at Miami. I like New England in this matchup. Somehow Miami's favored, but I'm not really confident in them right now. I have to see it to believe it, but again, I don't really trust Miami right now based off the performance off the Colts. Yeah, no, I'm taking New England to win it. Next up we have is the Niners and the Saints, and I got to feel for the 49ers fans, man. They're already dealing with the injury bug. Now they lost George Kittle. He's on IR for like at least the next 4 games. He could miss like 5 to 6 weeks now. And then Brock Purdy's not going to be playing again on Sunday. He's out for like 2 to 5 weeks potentially, or 2 to 4. As both of them suffered injuries during the Seattle game. Kittle's out with a hamstring. Purdy's dealing with a shoulder and turf toe problem. But it's the Saints. I'm not worried about San Fran about this game. I think they will get the job done, but it wouldn't shock me if the Saints win against a banged-up Niners offense. But I like the Niners in this matchup, winning 27-14. And this one, I think they'll do the job. I think will be another boring game that I won't really care about. But the Saints are a really bad football team. I think they're going to be the worst team in football. They looked horrendous in week 1. But I think the Niners will do their job. They'll win by 2 scores. Next we have is the Bills and Jets. Shockingly, the Bills won against Buffalo. Or the Bills won against the Ravens, and possibly the game of the year. Correct me. In week 1, potentially. We're already getting a game of the year candidate in just week 1 of the season. When the Bills were down 40-25, they won 41-40, and that was probably one of the craziest games I've saw in a minute, as of recent. And then, unexpectedly, the Steelers and Jets turned out to be a shootout game, which was not on my bingo card. which is pretty crazy. Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson look great. The defense needs fixing though for both teams, but it's only week 1. I'm not really worried. But the Bills are a powerhouse. The Jets are a rebuilding team. I think this is going to be a back and forth game. I think the Bills are going to have trouble against this Jets team if they can play like that again, like how they did to Pittsburgh. I'm confident that the Jets are going to score points. I'm confident that the Bills will score points. In this one, give me the Bills, though, just by 6 points. I got the Bills winning on the road on the Jets, winning 30-24. And then second to last Sunday afternoon window game, we have the Seahawks and the Steelers. I think this is going to be a very, very close game between these two teams, but I think Pittsburgh will just get it done. I think they will win. I'm confident that they will win. It's going to be a close game, back and forth. I have the Steelers winning by the final score of 23-20 in this one. I'm not worried about Pittsburgh. I'm not worried about Seattle, but I think they will get the job done at their home field. And Seattle's going to probably have trouble most of the game, but they're going to keep it close, I think. But 23-20 is your final score for that one, for my prediction. And then you get the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. I'm not going to talk much about this game. I think the Ravens are going to get the belts out and just whip on Cleveland for the entire game, because you saw what happened when they choked and suffered another heartbreaker loss to the Buffalo Bills. And they should have had that game in the bag, but they didn't. They sold and they got comfortable, and then the Bills took advantage. But I think they're gonna let the gas on this one. I have the Ravens scoring 40 in this one. The Ravens are gonna destroy Cleveland. Give me Baltimore 41-13 in this one. And yeah, that's it about that. I'm not going to talk much about this game. I think the Ravens will destroy Cleveland in this one. And then you get the Sunday late window afternoon games between the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. This is really an interesting game because now I'm going to speak about Daniel Jones. He played probably one of the worst defenses in the league, but he looked really good against the Dolphins, which is kind of crazy to think about it. And then the Broncos are the number 1 defense in football, I think, right now. So this is going to be a very low-scoring game in this one. I think the Broncos do pull it out to go to 2-0. I like their matchup. The Colts are probably going to be still bad, I think. But we got to just wait and see. I like Denver winning in this one by the final score of 20-16. And then you get the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals in the next matchup. I don't like where this team is heading right now. I need to see it to believe that we are a good football team. We did not look good in week 1. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, they played the worst team in football, and the Saints, they looked all right. But I like the Cardinals in this one, unfortunately. I know we own Arizona, don't get me wrong, but I don't trust this team right now. I need to see it before I take my team, and this is why I have Arizona winning by the final score of 23-14. I'm not confident in my football team right now. I need to wait and see it before I take my team. I want my team to win. I think we can win. But right now, we don't look like a good football team. And we have a lot of cleaning up to do on defense because it's looking like the same story from last year. We had no pressure on Trevor Lawrence. He had all day to throw the ball. He had literally at least 3 seconds, which is crazy. And then the offense, unfortunately, had miscommunications, and we lost the game. But I have the Cardinals winning right now. I don't believe we're going to win this game, but I hope we do win, but I can't see it right now. And then getting to America's Game of the Week, we had the Philadelphia Eagles against the Chiefs. Super Bowl rematch from just the recent Super Bowl, and I think this is going to be a very good game. I think the Eagles are going to win again, 34-30. I think this will be a shootout, by the way. Um, the Eagles' defense looked not that great, but I think this is going to be a shootout game regardless. The Chiefs' offense could be in for some question marks because Xavier Ward is going to be potentially out for a couple weeks due to a dislocated shoulder. And they do get Jalen Carter back for the Eagles, and I'm confident that the Eagles will get it done. I'm not liking it for the Chiefs, but it would kind of shock me again if they started 0-2. I don't think they will, and it just got me head scratching. Are the Chiefs really that team this year? I think they're going to be fine if they start 0-2, but they would have to turn things around quickly. And I have the Eagles just barely coming up top to win it in a crazy game. 34-30 is your final score. And then we get to the Falcons and Vikings. This is the rematch between the national championship game from 2024 with Michael Penix and J.J. McCarthy. I like Minnesota in this one. I think they're going to bring pressure on Penix all day. I like the Vikings defense. I think it's insane as from last year. I like Brian Flores' scheme with the all-out blitz, but if the Falcons can get like a game plan by launching deep balls, if they're bringing all blitzes, it can break instantly for Minnesota. But I think Minnesota's gonna lock them down. I'm confident in Minnesota in this one. Give me them 24-17 in a pretty good game. And then we get to the two Monday Night Football games. We're going to begin with Tampa and Houston. I like Houston in this one. I think it's going to be a potential shootout game, so keep your eyes on it. Houston needs this win. They need to bounce back, and they need to get their season together. Otherwise, it's going to be a long year. But I have this one going into overtime. Give me Houston 33-27. And lastly, we have the Chargers and the Raiders in this one. I think this is going to be an extremely close game. I think this will be an extremely close game. And I have the Chargers just getting it done against the Raiders. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. Give me the Chargers winning 24-21 in Las Vegas. And that, folks, is going to end my Week 2 NFL predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Thank you, guys.